Hey friends, welcome to the Night Shift Podcast. My name is Bilma,
My name's Emmanuel.
and this is episode 1. So,
So
so
basically,
welcome.
welcome, guys.
And as you can see, it's nighttime. Why is it nighttime? Why? Okay, first of all, let's say why I wanted to call it the night shift. Yeah.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
So, um, the night shift podcast is something that I've always wanted to do, especially because I'm a night shifter. I work night shift, obviously from 6:30 to 7. I'm a nurse assistant in the ER.
And I'm a security guard at the
And,
hospital as well.
and what's your shift?
My shift is from the afternoon, from 1 to 9:30.
So kind of night
So kind
too.
of night too.
Kind of night.
Sometimes.
So, what are we going to talk about?
Well, there's a lot of things we can talk about.
Uh,
Some of the topics are gonna be, personal, like, about us,
mm-hmm.
maybe our living situation,
Our age.
our age
Our
gap.
age gap. That is
Um,
what you want to say it now?
No, I feel like we should keep that secret
Okay.
for now
Well, most
until
of
we
you already know, but for
yeah
like people that
don't
are gonna
know.
be tuning in,
Yes,
hopefully a lot of people.
yeah, and then other things like our work environment. That's one of them.
Mm.
Friends,
We're
family.
gonna have a lot of
Yeah, a lot
friends
of
coming,
topics.
and we're gonna be interviewing a lot of single nurses that are looking for a man,
Or a woman. We don't judge.
or, yeah, or that.
Yeah,
Um, or what else? We're just gonna be pretty much talking about work. This is personally,
mainly about work.
yeah, about work, about how can we say it's toxic or mentally draining or.
It can be very a lot of things.
And I did it because I also want to hear a lot ab-
Other people's
about other people. Yeah, I want to hear about
experience.
other people's experiences as nurse assistants and if you're on a journey to becoming a nurse because I want to go back to school in January. Hopefully I could do it or not. I know I could do it, but mostly what can I say? I'm not lazy. I just have a hard time believing I could do it.
You just need that little push.
Maybe I'm just scared to start. So, anyways, I want to hear about everybody's journey. So, we're going to make a TikTok and share, like, so you guys could, like, send us a text message about your, like, either work experience or, like, bad work experience or good work experience because there's a lot of good nurses out there, too, that treat nurse assistants very good or doctors or, I don't know, or
Anything in
people.
the healthcare worker.
Yeah. So I've been a CNA for, let's see, Antonio 17. I think he was turning 1 when I started working my first job at a nursing home. Um, so he's 17. So I've been a CNA for 16 years. That's a long ass time.
It's a long time.
And people ask me, like, you've been a CNA for so long, like, why haven't you gone to school to become a nurse?
Yeah, why haven't
And
you?
my answer is, sorry, I have 4 kids. So I know a lot of people have kids and go to school, but personally, I don't think I could have handled 4 kids, single mom, 4 kids. Like, obviously, they're older now, and I think I could do it. But imagine having like how old was he? So my youngest is 12, then 14, then now 17 and 18. So imagine like back then, like all the little kids and if me trying to go to school, like I think I would have like failed, and then right now I would be paying something that I I felt like that I could never finish. So that's
Yeah,
like a big debt right there because nursing school is pretty expensive.
it is.
So that's why. But now I think that I'm ready.
So you want to tell the people what type of nurse you want to be?
I think I want to work either ICU, but I also want to try. So I've always worked um like in hospitals
Mm,
and clinics.
mm,
But clinics is like OBGYN, the trauma with a trauma clinic, neurosurgery. So I want to try maybe like the cosmetics now. No, it's not called cosmetics. It's called um
I don't know the term, so don't
um
ask me, guys.
well, I'll find out and maybe I'll put it somewhere right here
Yeah.
like nurse for I have the word. It's
So why ICU?
no. I said, "Oh, I see you."
Yeah.
I feel like it's more like of life saving.
Mhm.
So now that I worked at the ER, so first of all, in Arizona
Mhm.
and here in California, my scope is very different. Even though I'm a nurse assistant, like it's super different. Like in Arizona, I was able to do so much
Mhm.
more, like put catheters, like draw blood, like a phlebotomist. That's
Mhm.
I was able to do that. So I haven't done it in a long time that I lost practice. Like literally, so I worked at a teaching hospital, so university hospital. So over there, like they're like, okay, let's have our patient. I was a patient care technician. Let's have our patient care technicians start drawing blood because they were very short phlebotomist. So
Mhm.
they're like, okay, get 100 sticks, get a nurse to shadow you, get you could shadow a phlebotomist, and they could sign you off how many you did to come in for 2 hours a day, as many as you can. If you get 100, then you could start drawing blood.
Yeah.
So I did that. Some of the nurses will be like, oh, well, in ICU, we have intubated patients and sedated patients. So it's like, okay, you could go poke him and, he won't.
You won't feel it.
Well, I think they do feel it,
Well,
but
because the patients are what
but
in
they're
in a coma.
sleeping. Yeah, they're like in a,
Some.
some aren't.
Mhm.
But anyways, now that I see the difference, um, like it felt like I was actually helping save lives more over there
Mhm.
than here, because here the EMTs are the ones that do the like the start the CPR, and I'm over there stuck in the green zone. The green zone is the behavioral ER. So I'm more like in the back of the ER.
How different is it from
Over there I
here
could
and
do
here over there?
I was able to do chest compressions. Like I was able to start it.
Mhm.
Like not that I also we had like this year, it was like way before COVID, that a lot of people were dying. Like
Mhm.
I don't know, just like we had like these months that like every day we're like, okay, you need to clean that bed. He passed away, but we have somebody else in the ER that they're bringing.
Mhm.
And like literally we'll just like clean them, bag them, and then like next.
Damn. Just
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Um so here the EMTs, I think I could do it too, but nobody has ever said, "Hey, Bilma, do you want to help me clean up
Yeah. Maybe because
a
you're
deceased
nurse assistant
person?"
again.
Yeah.
They think you might.
And that's what I did this. That's what I want to talk about, like
Mhm.
how I've been treated, because for a long time like I was embarrassed to say that I was a nurse assistant because
Here in this
everywhere.
hospital. Oh.
No, like everywhere when they're like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm a CNA." So I was just a little embarrassed because um
I feel like you shouldn't be embarrassed. Like
I feel
that's
like hell no, I do a lot.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you shouldn't like you should embrace
S-
that,
So I
especially
feel
that
like
job.
there's these nurses that are like, "Oh, I went to school, so now I don't have to clean butts." Like,
Mhm.
excuse me, that's your patient. Like, I'm here to help you. I'm the
Yeah.
assistant. So, but before it was like there's nurses, like I walked into rooms and there was like nurses literally like if a patient wanted water or yeah, I think it was water, or was it a urinal? I can't remember. But they're like, "Oh yeah, the CNA will bring it to you right now." And I was just like, excuse me, you're like standing right there. Like, why
Like
can't
you can
you?
do it yourself.
Like, and there's a lot of good nurses that will, like, literally won't even ask me for anything.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's those nurses also here. I can't even do a finger stick, like, to check to see if they have, like, their sugar levels. And over there, I was able to do it. So
Mm-hmm.
we will get the patients that obviously diabetic patients that are very critical. So we will check sugars every hour.
Yeah.
But I was the only tech. We
Over
had
there.
it was a small ICU. It was a 12 bed ICU.
Oh.
12 is a lot. I mean, it's really like if you say, oh, it's little, it's like 12. But if you have like very critical patients, 12, it's a lot,
Yeah.
you know? So, anyways, something little as a finger stick over there is like I will check it every hour, right?
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes I will be doing a bed bath with another nurse, and then one of the nurses will like literally like walk in the room and be like, Bilma, did you check the finger stick? And I'm like, do you not see me?
What I'm doing, I'm trying to help another
Yeah, like
patient.
you could do your own finger
Yeah.
stick.
Like it's not
Like
hard.
you came in to ask me into a room, like you could have just done it yourself.
Yeah.
The time it took you to come and look for me
Mm-hmm.
to do that, like you could have done it yourself.
Yep.
So there was a lot of that over there because like I was able to do a lot more. So I feel like I will, or like put a catheter in. Here I can't. Some nurses now know that I could do it and they will ask me for help because I guess it's very hard to look for the right hole.
Mm-hmm.
Hole.
For people that don't know, can you explain to them what a catheter is?
Babe, so I feel like it's a Foley is where you just put like um this little like a little what is it?
I don't. Isn't it like a blue tube?
No, it's not a blue tube. It's not a tube. It's a Foley. It's just like it's a rubber. It's like a little.
Yeah, I'm just saying so people can
I don't
know
know
what
how
that
to
is.
explain
That's
it. It's a Foley. Like nobody has ever asked me to explain what a Foley is. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know, but anyways, it's just like you just put it up their urethra. Is that what it's called?
A few moments later.
okay.
So, anyways, so I was able to do that there, do CPR over there, like start compressions.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody's dying, um, phlebotomy. What else? Oh, a lot of nurses will be like, "Hey, Mama, can you go do mouth care?" Because so there were intubated patients,
Mm-hmm.
so I was able to do like hourly like mouth cares. You have like this special things like, sometimes RTs, I don't know, do it. The respiratory therapist because it's like you have to suction like all their, um,
Saliva.
yeah, it gets stuck like in the pockets right here. So
Mm.
I was able to do that. I was able like to suction everything and no, but like here I don't think I would be able not even to touch that because it's like very
Serious.
no, it's yeah, it's just like if you do something wrong, you know, you
So
could
basic-
like you could move something if you're like because it is scary
Yeah.
that you're just like trying to like clean. Like for me at first it was scary because I would like try to do mouth care and it was like, oh, what about if I
Mess up or do something
yeah
wrong.
something wrong? That's
Like that's
their air that's their air
Airway?
airway. So it was scary. But anyways, so I feel like the difference between what I did in ICU and here in the ER are very different. Here is more like psych patients because it is
Yeah.
the psych unit, psych pod, not unit.
Yeah.
So, anyways, and here is like I had a lot of nurses that, well, I have very helpful nurses. I feel like,
Some.
yeah,
Some are.
some,
Some aren't.
yeah, but most of it I feel because of my experience, I'm able to be like, hey, like this is going on with your patient, or hey, um, come medicate your patient, or
Like you know
because they're
what to
going
give that
wild, or
patient or what
yeah,
something's going. Yeah.
yeah. So, and then we have the people that are like, oh, she's just a CNA, so she's not allowed in this pods over here. Oh, one other thing too, like we do the EKGs, and it's so funny. Let me tell you something, and I know a lot of people at work are gonna be watching. So I hate, I hate when the EMTs are like, oh, we're gonna do a EKG. It's just a picture of your heart. It's like, we're not taking a picture of your heart. Like we're literally the EKG is to monitor the waves of your heart and in your heartbeat. Like,
Yeah.
so I hate when they're just like, oh, I'm gonna do an EKG. It's just a picture of your heart. It's like, no, it's not a picture.
Well, it kind of is. But
No,
like,
a picture is like a,
no, yeah, but like
and that's
in
like a,
wavelengths, though.
yeah.
I
So
guess
it's
that's
like
what you're referring.
monitoring the waves
Yeah.
of your heart just to see if you're having a heart attack, or you're like your heart is going too fast or too slow, but it's not a picture. Or anyways, I just hate that. I just hate that. Or maybe I'm just like too
Just
weird
the way
about.
they say
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But or I don't hate it. It's just like it's too like I don't know. I don't like when they say I'm gonna take a picture of your heart. Um so anyways, and that here, so at first they're like, oh, you're just a CNA, you can't do that, da 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 da. Or here's like out of your scope. When I was getting trained, I got told that a lot. I was like, okay. Like they're like, oh, you don't even need to know this, don't worry about this part. And I was like inside like, excuse me, like I know how to do all this, right? But I was just like, okay, I'm getting trained, I need to shut up, I
Like
need
you
to,
didn't want to be sound cocky or look
yeah,
cocky around
yeah,
these guys since you're new.
yeah. So, and I feel like a lot of people don't, it's not that I'm cocky, but I'm very confident that I know how to do my job very well, and a lot of people don't like that.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I mean. It's
It,
cocky.
yeah, but I don't
No.
want it, I don't want that word like, oh, she's so cocky. Maybe a lot of people at work do think that I'm cocky. Please leave a comment if you think I'm cocky at work.
Yeah. Or it's
I
just
wanna,
another way of like you're confident of yourself.
I'm confident.
You know?
So when I, when my manager interviewed me,
Mhm.
she asked, how do I know, why would I hire you? And then I said, listen here, I have 4 kids, and half the time I don't know what I'm doing. But if you put me here, like I thrive in situations like this because like I know what I'm doing. Like I know I'm very good at my job.
Yeah.
Even if people are like, "Oh, you just clean butts," I will fucking make that butt shine.
Baby steps
Yeah.
to save people's lives.
Like,
Even the little things you do.
and
you
it's
can
so
save 'em.
yeah, but it's so funny because it's not just like about wiping ass. It's just like being kind to people because they're at the most vulnerable
Yeah.
moments. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know, let me reposition you, and or let me get you a warm blanket. We laugh so much because they're like, oh, you're such a people, because they don't know the difference between CNA and nurse. So most of the people are like, hey nurse, or like nurse,
Yeah.
nurse. And so they're like, oh, you're such a great nurse. And then I tell like my coworkers, we laugh. I'm like, see, it just takes a blanket, a warm blanket, and a sandwich. And I tell these to patients because sometimes we're like multitasking, doing everything at the same time, and say like they're drawing blood and all this. And then we both clean the patient up, and then they're getting settled, and then I go for the blanket right last, and the nurse is still there like labeling whatever she has to label or explaining something, and I literally put the blanket, and they're like, oh my god, nurse, like you're the best, and I
Yeah.
turn and look at them, see like it just takes a blanket to make somebody happy.
Yeah. Nice.
But like I'm like, you do the hard work, and I put a blanket or a sandwich, and I get the compliments.
Yeah.
But it's just those little things.
Yeah.
But yeah, here at the ER, I'm not able to, I think, perform as I would love to, or practice the scopes that I used to, just because they're very different in Arizona and here.
Yeah, because I think they're more strict here than over
Yeah.
there. I'm not
Which
sure
is
over there.
fine. Which is fine because it's like,
They just don't want.
I don't
something
get to.
bad.
So for me, it's not just like I don't sit down most of the time. If you see my steps, like it's like over 10,000 steps. So But my thing is, here we go again with the EKGs. Like at first they're like, oh, you don't need to do this, but then there's sometimes that the ER is super busy, and then they're like, oh, Bilma, there's an EKG on 16, can you do it? And I'm like, no. Like it depends on who's working, because I'm not gonna be overworking and doing your job and you're sitting down,
Yeah.
and then like, oh, now you want me.
Yeah, you want my help or you
Now
want me to do
you
something.
want me. So then there's times that they're EMT short, and they'll be like, oh, can you help me over here? And at first I will feel like they will take advantage of me. So then I was like, okay, so if they help me help in the front, then that means that I could actually work my shift in the front, you know, in pod A, B, C, whatever, A, B, C, D. So I asked one of the nurses one time, hey, can I work over here tonight? There's no hold. They're like, oh, no, you can't. I'm like, okay.
Why do you think they do that?
I don't know. I don't know what it is with nurses and like making other people feel like, especially nurse assistants, like they're better than them.
You think it's just with you or the other?
No. This is where I'm getting. Like, you're gonna hear so many stories of nurses being so mean to CNAs here. Like, that's what I want.
Yeah.
I want to.
But like from your perspective,
I mean,
because
and nothing's gonna change either, because it's like, for me, somebody that could be mean to someone or put someone down, that talks about your person, not about you being smarter than me. No. Dude, like, I could go to class. I could go 2 years to the advanced nursing program. That's what I'm going to do. And I'll be at your same level. And I know a lot. I'll probably do better than you. And not only that, I'll be kind. I'm nice. I'm patient. So it's not about being smart. It's like, you're just a mean person if you could talk to somebody like that, or make me feel like I'm less than you just because you're a nurse.
Yeah.
So this is what I want. Like, I want a safe place for everybody. And not only that, because there's techs that are so lazy. Excuse me.
Yeah.
They're freaking lazy.
Oh, yeah.
So then we could hear from the nurses too, like, oh, you know, I see nurses drowning, and not only here in the ER, but anywhere. And then, like I told you, I could say like, oh, that's not within my scope, so I'm not gonna help you.
Yeah.
You know, but if I feel like, if I know the skills and if I feel comfortable doing it, and I've done it, like take out IVs, like I was able to do that in Arizona. Here I can't. There's nurses that let me do it. They're busy, and you know, they're like, hey, can you take out this IV, or can you hook them up? And I'll be like, yes. But there's people that will be like, oh no, I don't, like, I can't do that.
Yeah. Maybe because they're scared.
That too.
Because
but there's
something might happen or they might get caught.
Yeah.
Or other times it's just like, you know, they don't have confidence in you since they haven't worked with you, or they just don't want to in general.
Yeah. Well, we'll hear it from nurses too. Oh my God, I was drowning and nobody could do a EKG, or you know, I feel like it's about time that we should all work together, because we're working for one purpose only, and is that people laying in that bed.
Yeah, saving
Like,
those people's lives.
like I don't even care if you're homeless. Like sometimes people even look at me weird because I take their socks off and I put new clean socks when they're like very stinky.
The patients?
Yeah, and they're like, oh, thank you very much. Like, dude, like, I don't mind helping you. I don't care how you got there. Like, we all have a story to tell. Like, I'm gonna treat you, even if you're like crazy, I'm still gonna give you a sandwich. I'm still gonna help you change.
Like, at the end of the day, you're human. We're all human.
So I think we should all like work towards that, to like work together to make it easier, because there's sometimes that, and you know what I like, that a lot of nurses are like, oh, is Bilma gonna be here tonight, like when they're doing the board for the next day, for the night, so we're there. And I love when nurses are like, oh, are you back tonight? Oh, and they ask the charge nurse, oh, can I be in pod B because Bilma's there?
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
Well, yeah, because a lot of people know that you get your work done.
Yeah.
Like you
And
do.
that I help them.
Yeah.
That I help them. And it's just like hooking up a patient, like putting the leads on, putting them in a freaking gown.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that doesn't take not even 5 minutes to do that. But this is the thing, not everybody does it.
Well, I feel like because they're not like you, like you love doing
I
your
love
job.
my job.
You know,
I love my
you go
job.
above and beyond. And I feel like
Yes.
others that work there aren't the same as you are. You know.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's why they see you and they're like, oh, I know if I ask her to do something,
Yeah.
she'll do it.
Or she'll have my back if something
Yeah,
happens.
something
Like,
happens.
this will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it's just depends on the person. Everybody's
Yeah.
different. No one's always gonna be the same
Yeah.
way. Like everybody's unique in their own way. Even
Yeah.
though we think, oh, that person's lazy,
Yeah.
in reality they probably know.
Or yeah.
You know,
There you
I
go.
think it's just depending on that person and
Yeah.
their work ethic.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, enough about me. Because we'll do that. If you let me, I'll just keep going and going and going.
I mean, this is good.
Yeah.
The tea's good.
The tea. Oh, my God.
Your
Oh, my God.
experience
Let's see.
in the hospital in both.
So that's why I'm like,
So it's pretty good.
mhm.
Yeah. And then me, I also work there. I see all those things that she's saying. You know, even though I don't understand half those things.
And a lot of nurses are mean to security.
Yeah. That
so
is
why?
true.
You know, like, why you're there to help us.
I think it depends because of their experience too.
Uh-huh.
Like there is some security that are cocky or lazy or just don't really care about being there. They're just there for one thing, and it's to get their paycheck, and that's about it. I think it depends on the security guard. Like me, honestly, I'm
You're very good at your job. I love seeing you work, and I've told you this so many times. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, like
You're
I
so
put
good at
the
your
patient
job.
first. Like I honestly, I'm a nice dude.
Yeah.
When it comes to my work, I'm nice. But if you're
Yeah.
mean to me, I will be mean back to you. Like
Yeah, that I seen that too.
It's something that people need to understand. You guys
Yeah.
make us like they make it seem like we're the bad guys. Not
Yeah.
only nursing staff, the
Yeah.
patients, visitors.
Visitors.
It's overall like they
So
make it seem like
it's
we're the
bad,
bad guys.
huh? People
Yeah.
are so mean now. Like, I don't know if it's nowadays. I don't know if it's California. I don't think I've ever
think it's
encountered
just-
something like that in Arizona. No,
No?
because listen. So I worked night shift over there too. I've always worked night shift. So I see you. Doors always have to be closed, but for some reason, day shift always liked having the doors open.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, like, there was a lot of things going on that for protection, like, or just security for everybody, I will close those doors as soon as I got there. And there's always only allowed, like, I think it was one person in ICU, maybe two if the patient was really, really sick and dying. But then I can't remember. But there was days that I will get there and there was like 5 people in the room. These rooms are so little and there's a lot of going on. There's like poles of IVs. There's these patients with like 10 drips. Just like medication hanging. You know how you see in ICU just like the IVs? No, these people just don't have IVs. They have like medication after medication after medication after medication. So it's like sometimes it's like 10 channels. Like the IVs look like this fat. Right, so there's like all these poles, and then sometimes patients are getting like dialysis, so the machine is like super big, right? So and then you see like 5 people there. What I will do, and the nurses will love it too at night, is like, okay, out. Of course, nicely is like, dude, what about if something happens to your loved one and we literally have to like, in situations like that, everything's like so fast. It's like you just get in there, you just put the bed down and you just start compressions. Imagine with other people, with like no.
Like it's crowded, you guys can't do
like
much.
you can't. And then not only that, like people will go crazy.
Yeah.
Like if you see your loved one dying and getting CPR and bleeding through their mouth, and like obviously you're gonna go crazy and start crying.
Mm-hmm.
Some people could faint, so you don't
Mm-hmm.
know. So it's like for your safety, for his safety, for our safety, for just like to the work environment, right? So I would explain to them, if this happens, you can't be in here. Like they're crying, they're screaming. How can we do our jobs if you're over here screaming?
Yeah.
And then we need to take care of if you faint,
Mm-hmm.
like, and this, like, no. So anyways, long story short, so I would just get in and kick them out, like out, 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 because security over there in ICU just literally just go around.
Yeah.
But so here you guys get
Here
that too.
we get that a lot, but we don't do rounds. We do
I
only when.
hate people in the rooms.
Yeah.
I hate it. Like if it's more than one, I hate
Yeah. I mean, we do tell them too. Like, look, this is the policy.
it. Yeah.
And right away, they're like, I don't care, or like,
People's
let me in.
mean.
You know, people are mean.
But
like,
over there, this is what I was gonna say is California, because over there it was like, okay, I'm sorry, and they will literally leave, and I will lock the doors.
I think also it depends on the environment. The people there, a lot of them are really mean. Like, honestly, we get the daily on the daily basis, and it sucks because we want to give them what they want, but
Yeah.
we can't because there's a policy,
Mhm.
and they make it seem like we're the bad guys,
Mhm.
and we're not letting them in. Like we don't want to. Like
Mhm.
no, it's like no. This is what the hospital put. We are just enforcing it.
Yeah.
We're just
But it's for a reason.
yeah. It's for a reason because we tell them too. There's a bunch
Yeah.
of like
Things
sick
going
people.
on. Yeah.
You can get sick, and then you can take it home and get other people
Yeah.
sick or like babies. They even bring
Yeah.
try to bring.
Oh my god, I
babies in
hate
there.
that. I hate
And
when
it's like, dude, like
when
you
it's
can't do
not
that.
them being the patient, the
Yeah.
baby being the
They're
patient.
like,
Yeah.
oh, it's their grandma or grandfather,
So
something, you know. But it's like
excuse me.
we're just trying to look out for you.
Like the next door person is coughing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like literally puking.
Yeah. But they don't care about
Like
that.
stuff is coming up and out from down there, and you're literally like a few feet away.
Yeah. And then some don't even like do privacy. They go into other patients' rooms.
Yes, I
And they start
hate that
talking
when
to
they
them.
start talking to each
And
other.
it's like,
I'm like, excuse me, you don't do this. Like,
yeah.
You know that people hate it when I do that? They're like, oh, well, day shift let me do that. Oh, excuse me, like day shift is a whole different story. Like, I don't care. Like, I really don't care. But I'm here now and I'm telling you, like, only one person allowed.
Yeah.
And, like, obviously in a nice way. Like,
Oh,
excuse
yeah.
me, like, you know, and, but they let me do it during the day shift. Well, I wasn't here. I just got here, so I need one of you to go out. If not, I could call security so they could escort one of you out. So
Yeah.
you choose. Like,
Yep.
you choose.
Yep.
Have I had to call you to kick people
A
out?
couple times. we've had to.
Yeah.
With you, yeah, a couple
Yeah.
times. People, whenever they see us, they leave right away.
Yeah.
Or sometimes they put up a fight. You know, they're like,
Yeah.
oh, like the nurse said it was fine, and I'm like, okay, who did you
Yeah.
speak to? And they're like, I don't remember.
And there's nurses that do allow it
Yeah.
too. And this is what
And we
I
just
keep
don't say
telling.
anything.
This is what I tell people sometimes too. Like, if you're gonna let this person do that, then you're gonna have to let every family do that.
Mhm.
So, but anyways.
But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day,
Mhm.
we try to give the people what they want,
Mhm.
but they step all over us when
Yeah.
we do, and it's like you abuse that. Like, don't do that. Like we're trying to like
Mhm.
give sympathy and to you and to your loved one,
Yeah.
but yet you just
Yeah.
disrespect us in like the lowest of the low,
Yeah.
and it's like, no, dude, don't do that. Like we're doing our job. It can cost us our job.
Mhm.
Like it doesn't matter to you because you're
Mhm.
not the one that's working there.
Mhm.
You're just a visitor.
Mhm.
Nothing else.
Mhm.
But yeah, lots
Okay.
of people are aggressive there.
Okay. So I think this is good for today.
Okay.
What do you think?
This is good.
So we'll be talking about
more things
More
in the
things.
future.
And we did tell a lot of our friends that we were going to start a podcast, and a lot of them actually want to be in it.
Yeah.
And actually, for my surprise, a lot of people that I told them we were going to do it, they're like, oh, I wanted to do that for years. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, why didn't you do it?
I guess because people are scared that it's not gonna work out.
Yeah.
Maybe they just need that little push.
I mean, maybe this is not even going to work out, but at least we're doing it for fun.
Yeah, we're trying it out.
Or we're trying.
Yeah, it takes a lot of people.
So it's not just going to be about hospitals. We're going to talk about friendships. We're going to talk about our relationship.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about, what else? I'm a mother, so I'll be talking about my kids.
Yeah.
I usually, have you noticed I don't post my kids in social media?
Yeah.
Like, not one picture you will see of my kids in social media. Like,
Enough
at
of
all.
that,
Never. Never.
Yeah. That is true.
So I'll be talking about why, and maybe I could have the kids if they want to.
We can blur them
The
out
older
too.
ones.
Maybe the ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
We can do something.
And then our friends, and then
maybe even family.
and I'm gonna by the time we edit all this, we'll have a TikTok for the podcast. And then because I do want a lot of people like telling their stories, like even whatever job you do,
Like you
like-
want to read it out.
like I want to be like, I want to be like, I want to hear good stories, and like the sad, not sad, but like,
Or could be
like, were you ever embarrassed to work at McDonald's? Or were you ever embarrassed to be a housekeeper?
yeah.
Or because, like I said, I was embarrassed for a long time to say that I was a CNA.
Mhm.
And why? Like, were you ever embarrassed? Or do you ever feel like you're not good enough for certain jobs? Or do people or coworkers make you feel like you're not
worthy, or
you're not as good as them?
yeah.
Or I want to hear the good things too, like, oh, well, like a good thing right here. I took care of this lady with Alzheimer's, I think for 4 years. Got hired through an agency, and they will pay me very good, but she passed away. We're not allowed to get like presents more than $20. And like one good thing that I'm about to say is like I got $10,000 when she passed away.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and we went through my agency. Okay, so don't come for me. Like we went through the agency,
Yeah.
and they're like, we want to gift her this. Like they had, like whenever I will get a raise, because they paid me very good. Because when you work for agency here in California, like everything after 8 hours is overtime.
Mhm.
So I will work 12-hour shifts, five days a week. So imagine all the overtime I was getting.
Yeah.
So anyways, and they wanted to give me a raise. This agency didn't want to give me that raise. They're like, no. So they bought me out of my contract and moved me to the other agency because they didn't want to pay me like cash or anything. They wanted to go through agency because the accountant wanted everything in paper
Yeah.
because she was a millionaire, right?
Mhm.
So she wanted everything in paper for tax purposes, whatever it was. So that's why they went through agency. So they changed me agencies, and they gave me a huge raise. So this is what I'm saying. Like some people are just nice, like we will sit every night. Like sometimes I will be like, oh no, I already ate dinner, because by the time that I got there at 7 o'clock, they were eating dinner,
Mhm.
very fancy dinners.
Mhm.
Like this is my first time that I've ever seen tartar. Do you know what tartar is? So it's just that meat that they do it like very thin, and they put it like in a fancy little circle, like it's like a patty, but
Mhm.
it's all like raw meat.
Oh wow.
And she will love that. And that's the first time that I got introduced to that. But anyways, they will have me eat dinner with them in the table. Just a nurse assistant, just a caregiver. But they were super nice. They never made me feel like I was like a worker.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I was family.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. And anyways, so that's one of the good things. There's good people out there that will treat you decent.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I want to hear about security officers. I want to hear about nurses. I want to hear about anyone respiratory therapist, because if you go there, like my best friend is a respiratory therapist, and they never get recognized for anything either. It's like there's the one intubating the patient to save their lives,
Yeah, that's true.
and they don't get a lot of recognition for that.
That
So
is true. Yeah.
I want to hear about that. I hope that I see my best friend in the comments and her stories. And a lot of my friends are nurses. A lot of my best friends. Those are the nice ones. Should we talk about the mean ones? No. No chismes. No chismes.
I mean, we could. We just.
We
gotta
would
change
just
them.
maybe put other names. I have lots of story, you guys.
Yeah,
Come
like
on, I've been a
fake names.
CNA for 16 years.
Yeah.
16 long years. Okay. I think it's enough for today.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
No, that's about it. You covered most of the things we're gonna talk
Yeah.
about in the future.
Okay, guys. Thank you. If you stayed until right now, like, thank you so much for supporting us in this little dream of ours that we have of becoming a podcasters.
Yeah.
Is it podcasters?
Yeah. It's podcast.
Or just like to share experiences
Yeah.
and
Talk
to
about
meet
life.
I want to meet a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to meet people and to feel that I'm not the only one going through certain things.
Yeah.
As
Not
a
just-
single mom, as a healthcare worker, mental illness, depression.
Yeah.
I don't know everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye.